Hi. I had like a smooth transition, like a hello, welcome to the stream, and then I accidentally clicked the wrong button and the wrong slide started, so hi, welcome. Well, this is the first Writers Atelier. Of course, this is how the first intro would start. But hello, thank you for being here. My name's Paige, and I'm going to be hosting the Writers Atelier live stream today. We've gotten all the awkward little out of the way, first couple seconds, so I think it's going to be smooth sailing from here. So let's see. Where did all my little slides go that I prepared just so lovingly before this started? Ah, there we go. This was the one that was supposed to be on the window before you saw my face, where it just said, "The Writers Atelier virtual write-in will be starting soon." Just right there. So, to start out with, I just wanted to do a quick introduction. If this is your first time hearing about Writers Atelier, you might be wondering, what is Writers Atelier? So, Writers Atelier is a project started by writer and editor Raquel Henry, who is awesome, by the way. The space is located in Winter Park and hosts events such as workshops, potluck, write-ins, which are super, super fun. And if you're looking for a really welcoming community to learn about writing, to build your craft, please come visit the space. It is seriously the most supportive community like I've ever met before. They are wonderful. So, coming up on the calendar, we have a workshop about flash fiction by Jay Bradley, which sounds really awesome. I, for one, struggle with keeping my fiction brief. So I think that this is going to be a really cool workshop. So that is on June 11th. And also, in July, we have Self-Publishing Like a Boss, which is going to be an all-day-long class, which sounds super amazing. All of these events, you can find more information on the Facebook page, which is linked to down below. And for information on tickets, to learn more about what's offered at the Writers Atelier space, check out the Facebook page. It's linked to in the information. And stay tuned for an awesome redesigned website, which is going to be really cool. Other than that, we don't need the prompts yet. We haven't even started writing. But there's a example of what the warm-up's going to be like. I'm back again. You might be wondering, who is this person just rambling and talking about things and stuff? Another slide. Hi, I'm Paige. I am a writer. I recently started helping out with Writers Atelier YouTube channel, and I have a huge passion for storytelling. In 2015, I self-published my first young adult novel called Confidence, the Diary of an Invisible Girl, and I run an ongoing webcomic series called Pumpkin Spiced. And I do live streams every Tuesday and Wednesday on my Twitch channel and update my YouTube channel weekly with stuff about motivation and storytelling, and it is a ton of fun. Oops. And now I'm back. Wow. Hang on just a second. I just realized why I'm having so many issues with the slides. It's because this needs to be here so we can have the prompts on the screen as well. So if this is your first virtual write-in, basically, we're going to hang out for an hour and we're all going to do writing together virtually. Right now, it's a little bit quiet, so to emulate those sounds of clinking coffee cups and typewriters, I'm going to pull up an app that I use. This one's called Tide, but you can pretty much find these ambient sound apps. Like, if you Google cafe noises, you get a ton of really cool stuff, and you get that productive coffee shop feeling without having to leave your house. So I'm sipping on a cup of tea today, and I have this app that should make it sound a little bit more lively in here. Okay, hang on just a moment. Let's see if there's anyone hanging out in our chat right now. I see that there are 2 people watching. Hey guys, Bo says hello. Hi Bo, thanks for coming. Awesome. So, I prepared a couple of fun prompts today. This one is supposed to be the third prompt, but I guess I forgot to hide it when I was setting up all the little graphics that I made. The warm-up, however, since it is a dark and stormy evening, I thought it would be fun to think about our characters and do something about what is your main character's favorite season and why. It's something that I haven't honestly thought a ton about in my story. Right now I'm working on a really fun story that takes place in outer space, and I haven't really figured out what I want the weather to be like. I know that there are glimmering stars and general pretty space stuff, but I haven't decided on like the specifics, so I think that this is going to help me out a little bit. I also might work on a different story instead. We'll see what happens when I actually start writing. Bo says, so excited for this stream. It's perfect timing. This ends right before you need to head to work. That's awesome. Yay, timing. Let me know how the audio is, by the way. I haven't really streamed on YouTube before, so hopefully everything's the same as it's set up on Twitch. I am using a different microphone too, so not totally sure. But I think I've rambled through all of our fun intro stuff. So I have my notebook. Be sure to get your notebooks ready, your teas and coffees ready, and let's get started with our first prompt. I'm going to set this one for 5 minutes, and if this is your first virtual writing before, basically there's a prompt on the screen, and we're going to write along, and when the timer goes off, you can stop. If you're on a roll, you don't have to stop. You can definitely keep writing. But we'll check in after the timer goes off. So Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes. I'm using an Amazon Echo. It's not responding. Now it's working. Cool. Gotta find a free space in my notebook, which is a great feeling, but a little frustrating when you have a timer going. Okay. Another thing I wanted to mention is with this prompt, since it is a warm-up, you don't have to write it in a novel format. You could do bullet points, anything that's going to kind of help you brainstorm a little bit more about your main character. Paige, oh, where's my laptop? I don't know. Where's your laptop? Valerie, where's your laptop? Alexa, how much longer on the timer? Okay, we have about 1 minute left on this warm-up sprint. I feel like I look really short because of this chair. I mean, that's fine. It doesn't matter, but oh well. Why did I just realize this is happening? Hello, welcome! We pretty much just started, so you are just in time. Right now we have a warm-up sprint, and then we have a couple that are going to be a little bit longer. I think there's probably, like, the timer's up. Alexa, stop! So this one for a warm-up, since if you were in Florida, you know that it is a gloomy, rainy evening. I think it just stopped raining. There was thunder a minute ago. But I thought it would be fun to think about our main characters and what season they prefer. So I don't know what story this is for. I just kind of thought about the prompt and started writing. If you guys use the prompt, I'd love to know what you ended up writing about. Feel free to share snippets in the chat because that would be super fun. Let's see. Let me find a good spot to read from for what I ended up doing. Okay, so I have, it was a beautiful sunny day, birds singing outside, a beautiful sky with puffy clouds like little puffs of cotton candy. It looked like the background for a motivational poster or a postcard for the perfect summer day. Perfect, pristine, I hated it. Days like this were too much pressure. You felt like you had to go out there and make the most out of them. While on a gloomy, rainy day, binging a show on Netflix or cozying up with a good book would be perfectly acceptable. So that's what I ended up going with. I don't know what character it's going to work for, but I like the idea of it, that someone looks outside their window, sees this glorious day and goes, oh no. She just wants to be a lazy daisy. That's all she wants. Sounds like Washington. Yeah, in Florida we generally get, we have a drought for a little bit, but now it's getting back to that weather of, oh, it's 4 o'clock, it's gonna rain for an hour and then stop. Lately I think it's been a little bit stormier than that. Maybe the rain is making up for lost time. It's like, we got you after this drought. Okay, that was almost too hot to drink. I'm glad I was cautious. But yeah, feel free before we start the next prompt on the screen to say a little bit about yourself in the chat, what you guys are working on. Valerie, who's hanging out right now, I mentioned earlier, she's one of the authors who's doing the Self-Publishing Like a Boss workshop in July. So that's next month, and it's gonna be super fun. I can say that with certainty because I've been to Valerie's workshops before, and they're always super fun. All right, so I'm not actually sure how the delay is on this stream. I'm a little curious. Hang on. You're going to hear an echo for a second. Okay, it's not too bad. Cool. So let's jump into our next prompt, if I can find it. Boop. Okay, going with the rain theme. It's caught in the rain without an umbrella. So maybe your main character decides to duck in somewhere to get out of the rain. Maybe they're just calmly walking through the rain. Maybe they're running from shelter to shelter, just trying to get back home. However, whatever direction you're feeling like you want to take this prompt in is awesome. I keep saying awesome a lot. That's like my overused word for the day. Let's see. Bo says, I'm working on that 10K draft. I've been slaving over and trying to beat this writer's block down. You got this. Ross says, I'm a dark fantasy author who focuses on deconstruction stories, currently working on The Messiah of Nightmares, a novel that is the sequel to the one I published. That's awesome. Super cool. Well, if these prompts, by the way, I normally try to say this, but if you're not feeling inspired by them, feel free to do free writing and write about whatever is, whatever scene that you want to dive into. These are just to like drum up some inspiration. And for this one, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. So Alexa, set timer for 10 minutes. Yay! Cool, it worked this time. Let's see. Okay. Maybe this character is going to go out on the blissful happy day and then be super excited because a random storm blows in. Let's see. The luck dragon. He's scared of thunderstorms, so he like ran up like, Mom! So we have a special guest, a puppy guest. I realized I should put my phone on airplane mode so we don't get all the text notifications. Let's see how much time is actually on this sprint. Alexa, how much longer on the timer?
You have 2 timers. A 10-minute timer is about 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, we have 4 minutes and 30 seconds left on this sprint.
45 minutes left.
This prompt gave me an idea on how to take this novel in a nasty direction. Oh my. I'm looking forward to hearing about how it goes whenever the timer goes off, because sounds like it might be kind of intense. Mine right now is like going into melodramatic flashback mode. So, not super lost my train of thought. Anyways, I'm gonna keep writing. Oh, service is dying. Hope everyone is well. Happy writing. Happy writing, Val. Thanks for popping in. I'm a little worried about cutting out because of the storm and stuff. Hopefully it's okay. Let me know if the stream starts to break up or anything, though. Okay, Mr. Puppy. I think you're safe now. I think you'll be okay. Alexa, stop. I had a feeling the timer was about to go off. Cool. So I would love to know how the prompt went for you guys. Ross, I'm especially curious about what direction the novel went into. I ended up doing kind of a flashback. I kept with the same character who was having like her blissful sunny day adventure that she wasn't super happy about. And let's see. She decides to go for a walk to a coffee shop and starts to remember a flashback of the first time she ever discovered it, and she ducked into it during a rainstorm. But there was one line in particular that I thought was kind of fun. Let's see. The coffee shop wasn't too far, but it wasn't close either. It was one of those magical places that existed outside of time and space that seemed around the corner when you were fully stocked with coffee in your shelves, but miles away when you hadn't had a cup. So I thought that was kind of a funny coffee shop thought of, if you're fully caffeinated, it's right down the street, but if you have that like terrible coffee headache, you're not going to make it there for like 20 minutes. It's going to be terrible. Let's see. Bo says, setting up the environment around the diner is making this chapter go a lot smoother, finally. I'm so glad. Also, since I finally figured out how to get the big bad established. Yes. Oh, that's super fun. I'm really curious. I love diners, like writing about diners. I know that seems like a really random thing to be like, I love this, but since I'm writing like a 1950s space story right now, one of like the main settings has become this really cute little diner. And I don't know, it just makes me want to go hang out in diners with like a cup of coffee and do a bunch of writing. Ross says, I am writing a battle between a bunch of bandits and troops from a major city. The location is within a canyon in an arid climate. Of course, clouds suddenly form and a downpour starts. Oh no! That's going to be even more intense though, because now it's like they're battling and then there's rain, and that's super fun. Diners are fun. I'm trying to pack as many liminal spaces into the story, and diners are the easiest ones to write. I talked about this on a different stream. I think it was on one of my Twitch ones, but just that coffee ends up coming up in a lot of the stories that I personally do, whether it's in a diner or just like around a kitchen table, and like the community aspect that brings that together, like conversations over a cup of coffee and celebrations. I don't know. And I think diners have that same sort of vibe sometimes. Taverns also do the same thing, I guess, if you're writing in fantasy too. I never really put that together. Are taverns like the equivalent to a bunch of people hanging out at a Waffle House? I feel like that might be right. I keep shifting points of view between a female commander, a seasoned veteran, armed with a stockade of weapons, and a zombie archer armed with a cursed bow that steals life force to create its arrows. That is super intense. That is really cool that a zombie would have arrows that steal life. Like, that's pretty clever. I like that. Truck stops are a fun place to write too, especially for transitional scenes. Super Americana, yeah. I think I need to consider truck stops more, because my story is kind of like a space road trip, and what would truck stops in space look like? You've given me things to think about. Okay, so this prompt was caught in the rain without an umbrella. Oh, this one is your main character notices their ex waiting in line for coffee. So if you're writing a serious fantasy battle, this might not be the prompt for you. But I mean, I guess you never know. Crazy soldiers need coffee stops too? Probably not. But like with all of the prompts, feel free to use them or totally ignore them and keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes and let's continue with the writing. Alexa, set timer for 10 minutes.
Second timer, 10 minutes. Starting.
Oh, awkward when that happens, lol. I think it's because I knew about these prompts in advance, but without even realizing it, I wrote my character heading to a coffee shop, and I was like, oh. I gotta move to another location. I hope to be back in time to continue. Good luck. We should be here for a little bit longer, so we have at least one or two more sprints to go. Okay, let's see. Wasn't sure how I'd never... I noticed that like I keep getting lower and lower in the frame because I'm like slouching as I'm writing. Alexa, how much longer on the timer?
We have two timers. A 10-minute timer with about 1 minute and 10
Okay, we have 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the sprint.
timer with about 27 minutes left.
I just filled up this notebook. I got this like a week and a half ago, maybe? Maybe, no, it's been longer than that. But I started using it maybe 2 weeks ago. But all the pages are full and I'm really excited. Wow. So right as I was like finishing up the thought too, so that worked out really well. I did kind of have to write on the back cover for the last sentence, but let's see, Bo says, the 3 cups of coffee I've had today are just kicking in and the words are finally starting to come through easily. Yay! Philip says, hello, welcome to the stream. Right now we have about a minute left on this particular prompt. And after that, I think these were the 4 prompts that I had pre-planned. So if you guys have any suggestions about what we should write about next, feel free to leave them in the chat. Alexa, stop. Cool. So this one was, your main character notices their ex waiting in line for coffee. So I had my character walking to a coffee shop, and let's see if I can find a spot to read out loud. And if you guys use this prompt, or if you didn't use this prompt, feel free to share a snippet of what you've written. Let's see. Okay, I'll just start from here. Walking inside, I took a deep breath. The smell of coffee beans, freshly ground, warm and refreshing. I scanned the crowd to see, or hoping to see, a tuft of pink hair behind the counter, busily ordering coffees. I realized after I wrote, or busily working on coffee orders, I realized after I wrote that it kind of sounds like a Cousin It situation where there's just like a blob of hair behind the counter. But I mean, maybe, why not? But instead, my eyes fell on the person ordering a cinnamon latte with a vanilla scone, in a voice I knew, a voice I used to love, that now sounded like nails on a chalkboard. My ex was here, and I had to go. I turned, bumping into the person behind me. They hadn't seen me. I could leave without being noticed. I could just go and... April! I had been spotted. This was not happening. Slowly I turned and saw their face smiling wide, like nothing had ever happened, like they didn't go to the store for milk and never come back. You're finally here. So, I I didn't realize when I started working on this, it kind of ended up being a jumping off point for a short story, but I think the coffee shop might be like an entrance to the afterlife, or they're all ghost or something. And I might keep going with that idea. Let's see, I need to find a new notebook because I just filled up my notebook. Got this one. Philip suggests Cousin It gets a job. Is that the prompt, or is that just kind of like a assessment of the situation? Cousin It goes through a rebellious phase. They dye their hair pink and they start working as a barista. I mean, yeah, I would watch that spinoff. That sounds fun. Let's see. I think I'm into that. As a prompt? Do we want to write about Cousin It as a barista? If that's what the majority wants, I will put that on screen. That's fine. Just a comment on the scene. It sounds like fun. Oh, thank you. I'm just saying, you know, we can go where the creativity is. We can. I said creativity really weird, but just follow the inspiration. That does kind of sound like a webcomic or something. Extra prompt. Let's see, if we're keeping it gloomy weather themed and coffee themed, I feel like coffee ended up being an accidental theme, but a barista spells your main character's name wrong. I feel like this has happened to all of us before. I know I've gotten some weird ones. Where does this work on the screen? Let's see. We'll put it right here. I'm going to change the font color so we can actually read it. No, I got to think about how you'd spell basil wrong. Oh, man. Maybe with a Z? Maybe put a Z in basil? Basil. Ooh, yeah, maybe B-A-Z E-L-L-E. Basil. Basil. See if this is too bright. No, that works. Cool. Oh! Okay, let me see if I do have room in this notebook. I remembered something funny that happened at work. Was it with terribly misspelled names? Okay, for this sprint, I think let's just do 5 minutes. We're almost at the end. This hour's went by this hour has gone by really fast. So yeah, let's do this as a 5 minute sprint and think about how we can just butcher our characters' names. Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes.
Second timer, 5 minutes. Starting now.
Okay, let's see. I wonder what story I should use this for. Alexa, how much longer left on the timer?
We have 2 timers. A 5-minute timer with about 1 minute left.
Okay, we have 60 seconds left.
With about 15 minutes left.
I thought we had less, so I was like wrapping up this scene really fast. Alexa, stop. Okay, so I'm really curious if you decided to spell your character's name wrong, what you decided to go for. Bo says, so I work at a restaurant, and last night I was hardcore into story planning and on my break, and before I left, I had to help our cook prepping pasta and stuff. She had me go to the dry store to get herbs, and when I came face to face with the basil, I kind of lost it and had out 80-year-old had an 80-year-old cook questioning my sanity for the rest of the night. I was just cackling in the basement over basil. That's kind of awesome. Like, I feel like that in itself needs to be a part of a story. And also, I feel like if I had a character named after, like, something that was like an ingredient and I saw it out like in the wild, I would probably do the exact same thing. That's so funny. That's really cool. So I had to think about misspelling names, and I feel like the place that is famous for doing that is Starbucks. So I ended up going back to my teen witches in Portland story, Broommates, which I'm really getting excited to jump into editing again. They all have really old, uncommon names. Dorcas, Hildegard, and the most common one is Lucinda. And so I spelt Dorcas with a U instead of an O. And Hildegard, I wrote, let's see, Dorcas, she read on the Starbucks cup. Hildegard started to laugh until she picked up her own cup and saw that her name, a commonly spelled name in the netherworld, was spelled with 2 E's, a U, and an unnecessary amount of L's. Lucinda picked up her own cup and realized she was a little disappointed, seeing as how her name was spelled perfectly acceptable. Lucky, Dorcas exclaimed. She felt a little too embarrassed to admit that she strangely felt like she was left out. And then I just have some extra notes about, like, how they were kind of upset about it, and one of them wanted to complain. But let's see. You went for Basil, Basil with a Z for yours. All right, so we are almost at the 7:30 mark. It has been a really fun hour. I feel like since this was my first live stream on this channel, I was a little bit nervous, if I'm being just totally honest with you guys. So thank you for joining. Thank you for writing along with me today. And yeah, I'm really excited to keep doing these month to month on this YouTube channel. So be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more of my face doing the live streams, I have a Twitch channel that is linked down below, as well as a YouTube channel that I post weekly content about storytelling on. And on this Writer's Atelier YouTube channel, there's going to be more videos with like clips from the workshops that happen in the space. If you are an Orlando local, I definitely just cannot recommend coming and checking out the workshops in person. I use this example a lot, but whenever I first started going to the writing workshops, I was a little bit of a hermit. I was kind of nervous to get involved with the writing community because I'd never been a part of one before. And just the acceptance and the encouragement that you get from this group is just truly incredible. And Raquel works so hard to create a positive environment that everyone can really thrive and write. And yeah, I just appreciate it so much. And I'm so happy to be here helping out on this YouTube channel. Let's see, I'm sorry I missed most of it. Just got home a little bit ago. Workshops, question mark? So this channel right here is the Writer's Atelier YouTube channel. And it's a really awesome writing community in Orlando. So if you are a Florida local, there are links down below. Currently, the official website is under construction, so the best place to find out about events and what's going on is the Facebook page. There's also an Instagram. I think everything has the username Writers Atelier. But yeah, I think Facebook is probably until the new website's launched. I think until the new website is launched, I think Facebook is probably your best bet for finding out events on the calendar. You can hit that follow button. I can't remember what it's called on Facebook, but the get notifications will let you know every time something new is added, which is really cool. I talked about this in the beginning, but just in case we have anyone who jumped in a little later, the next workshops are a flash fiction introduction, and in July there is a self-publishing workshop. Both of them are going to be awesome. Links to all of the things are on the Facebook page, which is the first link in the information down below. I'm a bit too far away being in Texas. Well, definitely stay tuned on this YouTube channel then, because there's going to be more content posted on here. There's also recently been, there's a Patreon page that's launched where there should be some fun extra content with authors and stuff too. So I think that is all of the important things to say before the stream ends. Definitely hit subscribe on this channel, and I think these streams are happening every first Thursday, because it's Thursday, right? Yeah, it's not Friday yet. First Thursday of the month, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, I didn't make a goodbye screen. Okay, well, it's just gonna be me waving, saying bye. Thanks for writing. Good luck on your stories. There's a delay, so I don't know where to end, because I don't really want to end mid-sentence. Just gonna stare like this and press the end stream button. Bye, everyone. All right.